President Trump is sending the National Guard to our southern border with Mexico. It's a dramatic step, but one we've seen before in recent history. Chief White House Correspondent John Roberts starts us off tonight with the administration's latest plan to protect the border and to get more support for the president's wall. Good evening, John.
Chris, good evening to you. President Trump has often bragged about a dramatic reduction in activity at the border since taking office, leading many people to wonder why the urgency now to send the National Guard to the border between the United States and Mexico. In the end, it may be more about applying political pressure to get Congress to act. For the third time in recent history, the U.S. president will send the National Guard to help secure the southern border. The Secretary of Homeland Security today making the official announcement.
The president has directed that the Department of Defense and the Department of Homeland Security work together with our governors to deploy the National Guard to our southwest border to assist the Border Patrol. The president will be signing a proclamation to that effect today.
The deployment is expected to begin almost immediately, as soon as tonight, but its full scope is still being worked out with the governors of Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, and California. While the number of troops is unclear, the rules of engagement will be similar to Operation Jumpstart in 2006.
In terms of the operations that the National Guard will be involved in, Operation Jumpstart specifically prohibited the National Guard from laying hands on immigrants, that they were only in a support capacity to the Border Patrol. Are you thinking of similar rules of engagement?
We're working with the governors. What we've discussed are support activities that are very similar to Jumpstart.
So it wouldn't be actual enforcement?
Correct, as of now.
According to Secretary Nielsen, calling up the National Guard reflects President Trump's frustration with Congress for withholding money for a border wall and refusing to give him what he wants on immigration reform. Arizona Democratic Congressman Ruben Gallego, an Iraq War veteran, called the deployment an insult to our troops and tweeted, "For what it would cost the Guard to make just 2 arrests at the border, we could give a homeless veteran permanent housing for an entire year." That brought a sharp reaction from Press Secretary Sarah Huckabee Sanders.
If that congressman's so concerned, maybe he ought to show up and actually support legislation that would fix these problems instead of blaming the president who's actually trying to do something about it.
The White House also sought today to allay fears of an imminent pullout from Syria after President Trump said last week and again yesterday he wants to bring U.S. troops home from Syria soon.
It's time. It's time. We were very successful against ISIS. We'll be successful against anybody militarily. But sometimes it's time to come back home.
In a statement, the press secretary said the United States and our partners remain committed to eliminating the small ISIS presence in Syria that our forces have not already eradicated. We will continue to consult with our allies and friends regarding future plans. But officials tell Fox News the president wants U.S. forces home as soon as is practical. Long-term stabilization of Syria may be left to its neighbors.
They're the ones that are at the greatest risk, so they should be stepping up and doing more, and the president's calling on other countries to do just that.
The White House today dismissed concerns about a looming war, this one with China over trade. President Trump's newly minted chief economic advisor making his first appearance on the North Lawn. Larry Kudlow suggesting negotiations may avoid tariffs before they ever go into effect.
I don't think it's a trade war. I think there's going to be intense negotiations on both sides, but look, when you look at this whole picture, blame China. Don't blame President Trump. Trump's the solution.
Kudlow acknowledged the stock market is flush with anxiety, veering wildly on a daily basis, but the White House seemingly unconcerned with the market's gyrations.
We may have a little bit of short-term pain, but we're certainly going to have long-term success.
Kudlow insists that there is a pot of gold in economic growth waiting on the other end of a recalibration of the U.S.-China trade relationship. The question, though, Chris, can the president reach the end of that particular rainbow?
We'll find out. John Roberts reporting at the White House. John, thank you.